one is create a new business, and then the second one is import business. Now, in an instance where you've already created a business, but you have it saved on a pen drive, in such an instance, the import business becomes important. So, because then you would be importing the backup you have of your software from your pen drive onto a different system that you're going to use. And then we have the create business, where you'll be using the create business when you want to create a new business, basically, right? So we are going to create a new business. I'm going to name my business lesson 1. Lesson 1. So assuming you are creating a business for a company, in the business name, you type the business's name in that in the business name box. Now, when you are done typing the business name, you click on add to create the business. Now, when a business is created, this is what we are going to have access to. This is basically how Manager looks like when we haven't done anything to it. Now, there are default tabs that will be activated for us, which is the summary tab, the journal entry tab, the reports tab, and then the settings tab. These are the 4 major tabs that default tabs that Manager is going to give to us. Any other tabs that we are going to activate, we are going to activate it based on our business preference. Okay, so we are first going to look at summary tab. Now, when we come to summary tab, we realize that the screen is divided into 2. We have the balance sheets on the left side, which is here, and it gives us the elements of a balance sheet. We have the assets, we have the liabilities, and then we have equities. And then we have the profit and loss on the other side, which is also giving us our sales and interest received, which is falling under income. And then we have our less expenses. Now you realize that what you will observe is that on the profits and loss statement aspect of the software, Manager has created certain ledgers or certain accounts that it feels that it is likely that we are going to use these, how do I call them? It's likely that we are going to use these accounts, or this is the most popular accounts that there is. And the software feels that obviously we might need to use them. A typical example, accounting fees, advertising and promotion is another one. Bank charges. Once a business deposits its money into a bank account, definitely there's going to be bank charges. So in our free time, we can go through them. These are just default ones that we can use as when they need be. But then we would also be creating what we also want to use. So that's the point for now. Now, the first thing we are going to do for our software and for our business that we have created is to determine our reporting date and then the starting date. That is activity 1.3 and then activity 1.4 on our handout. I'm going to explain a bit further. Now, starting date. The starting date only indicates that the business that we have created is going to start using this software on so and so date. That is where the start date comes in. Okay, and then the reporting date tells the software that we want you to report the account or the transaction that we have done within this period to this period, which the default for Ghana would be from the 1st of January to the 31st of December 20, no matter the year that it might be. There might be few companies that would not stick directly to this rule, but then the default for majority of the businesses we have is to stick by that same rule. Now, to set our start date, I'm going to start with exercise 1.4 before, and then we go to exercise 1.3. So to set the start date, we are first going to come to settings. Click on the settings tab, and it's going to give us a list of things that we can do here. We have the base currency, the business details, business logo, chart of accounts, control account, custom fields. We will go through all of them. But the most important one we are doing now is to indicate our start date. So we are going to click on the start date. Then we click in the date box. You see there is a calendar here. So you click on it and it gives you the chance to select the year and the month, as well as the specific day that you are going to start using the accounting software. Per our exercise, we are going to use the 1st of January 2021. I'll make it 2021 at least for now. 1st of January 2021. So realize that we have June and then we have 2021. We're already in 2021. And so the month is what we are going to check. First, we're going to click on the June, then to give us access to the months that we have in a year. So we select January, and then the day we want to start using the software is the 1st of January. So we select the 1st of January. Now, when we are done with this, we click on the update button to save. In Manager, you would hardly see save. All you'll be seeing most of the time is update. Whenever you click on update, it means that you are saving or you are putting something that you have already done on the software. So to save our start date, we simply click on the update and then we have saved it. Now, the second thing that we are going to do now, please, I hope you are all following. Mark has gone off. Mark. Mark, are you here with us?
Yes, sir. My network is going off and on. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
But I'm following. I'm following.
I hope I'm not being too fast. I hope I'm not too fast.
I'm following. I'm following.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. So the next thing that we are going to do is to select our reporting period. So we are going to go back to our summary tab. And then on our summary tab, we realize that we have at our left top corner, we have summary, which is faint. You realize that just beside summary, we have the edit button. Now, let me hint on something else before we even go here. Now, you realize that our profit and loss statement is indicating that we are reporting for the period of 11th of June 2021, from 11th of June 2021 to 11th of June 2021. Now, this is doing so because the software is picking our current date that we have set on the on our operating system. So assuming today was the 25th of December, the date there would be 25th of December. It's picking from what the computer's date is telling it. Now, we are going to select our reporting period from the 1st of January 2021 to the 1st of December 2021. And so we'll click on the edit button. And then it gives us options. The first one we have is accounting method. What accounting method is the business using? Is the business using the cash basis of accounting or the accrual basis of accounting? The basic concept is that obviously majority of businesses will be using the accrual basis of accounting. So we'll select the accrual basis of accounting. Unless the business is using a strict cash basis method of accounting, then you select the cash basis of. Now, the next thing we are going to look at is that the first ticking box, we have show balances for specific period. Would you want this? So should the software show the balances for a specific period, which means that you want to dictate the period within which the software should be showing the balances for you. That is one. Now, two, we have show account codes. There are instances where people give their accounts codes, which you can use to track ledgers as well as elements of the accounts that you have. And then exclude zero balances. You are going to exclude zero balances in an instance where you have a lot of ledgers that you haven't used in transaction. And in that essence, it means that those ledgers would show zero on your statement of financial position. So you only tell the software that if a ledger or an account is zero, it shouldn't appear even on your statement. So the first thing we're going to do is dictate a specific period where you want the software to report on. So we are going to take on the show balances for specific period. So we click on it, and then it gives us two options, from and then to. The from indicates the period from which you want the software to start reporting on. And per our handouts, we are selecting 1st January for that. And then to, we want the software to report up to what date, or what day should be the last date on which the software should be reporting on. Now you realize that the software tells us today. When we click on the to box, we have today and then we have custom. Our company's account cannot end today. Basically, we are supposed to account for a 12-month period. So you're going to select custom, which will give us the chance to select as and when we want our reporting period to end. Now, our reporting period is supposed to end on the 31st of January. So we click on the box, December, sorry. So we click on the box, we select June, to go to December, and then we select 31st of December. Now, when we are done, we click on update to save. Now, let's go back to the date we have on top of our profit and loss statement. You realize that the date has changed from 11th of June 2021 to 1st of January 2021 to 31st of December 2021. And the balance sheet tells us that it's going to report our balance sheet as at 31st of December 2021. So basically, this is how, and this is very, very important for you to do, because if you don't do this and you start recording transactions, it is more likely that your accounts will not report on everything that the business has done within that period. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is to add business details. Now, every business has information that they provide to their customers. Now, every business has details or information they provide, or information that they provide to their clients about the business. Mostly, this information is to help our business to identify or locate the business. Okay. Now, if you look at our handout, we are adding activity 1.5, adding business details. We are going to provide some details to our customers. Now, another thing that we need to note is that when we enter our business details, what happens is that when we print out invoices, these details are going to appear on our invoices. And so now to do this, we will go to settings, and then in our settings tab, we select business details. Now you realize that when we come to the business details, we have the business name, we have the name box, and then we have the address box. Why is the name box appearing? Now there are instances where you may create the business with a different name. There are instances where you may create the business using a different name, but then you might want a different name to appear on the invoices that you are going to pass out. So in an instance where the business is a sole proprietor, probably the business owner's name is Kofi Jones, but then the business is called A2 or A20, right? And we would want A20 to appear on our invoices. So in that instance, you might end up creating a business with a different name on the software, but then you would want a different name to appear on the invoices. So if you enter a different name here, what the software would not do is that it doesn't change the name you used in creating the software, but it only is going to have this name appearing on the invoices that you're going to print out to your clients. So business name, our business name, we are going to type in, let's type in, I'm typing in Kofi and Sons Limited. Kofi and Sons Limited. Now our address, I'm first going to put in our mailbox address. This PO Box 11259. I'm using a default. Then Kumasi. And we can also decide to add the email of the business to it. Let's use the Sons at gmail.com. For example, when we are done entering all the details we want for the business, we click on update to save. So that is basically how you create the details for your business. And that is your address, your business address. Now, the second thing that we are going to look at, is selecting your currency. Now, to create a currency for the business, you're going to come to the base currency. Why base currency? Base currency because every business is going to have a dominant currency that they're going to use in their transactions. So we are going to first come to the base. We click on the base currency, where it's going to give us a code box. We have a name box, we have the symbol, and then we have the decimal places. Now, because we are in Ghana, we are going to use the Ghanaian cedis as our default or our base currency. So in the code box, you are going to type GHC. In the name, we are going to type Ghanaian cedis. And then the symbol, I'm going to type the GHC again. Now, the decimal places, how many decimal places do you want our figures to be in? You want 2 decimal places? Do you want 3 decimal places? It is up to you. But then the basic understanding for our country is 2 decimal places. So we are going to leave it at 2 decimal places, and then we are going to click on update to save. And so this is how we select a base currency in Manager Accounting software. Now, Manager Accounting software is allowing us to create a base currency because it gives room for foreign currencies as well, as I'm highlighting on the screen. There could be instances where a business would deal in Ghanaian cedis, but then would also deal in other currencies as well. Manager even gives us a chance to enter cryptocurrencies as well. So in an instance where your company is using Ghana cedis, but then it also has Bitcoin, you can use that as a mode of transaction in Manager. We will come there, but I'm just pointing at it currently. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is uploading your business logo, which is exercise 1.7, which is also under the settings tab. Now we click on the business logo, and then it gives us the chance to choose a file. Now, when you click on the choose file, it opens a directory. So if you have the logo of your business saved on a pen drive, you can go and then look for that pen drive, and then you select the logo. Let me see if I can get a sample picture from somewhere that we can use as our logo. So I'm going to check my SD card and then see if I can get, yes, I think I have one here. So let's try to upload. Now, another thing you have to note when uploading our business logo, Another thing we have to note when uploading a business logo is that if the file size is more than 250 kilobytes, the software will not be able to upload it. Sorry. The basic thing is, if the image you are uploading is more than 250 kilobytes, the software is not going to upload it. So it says it here, your image file size must be less than 250 kilobytes. If your file is too large, save it as a different type or reduce the quality. So there is no way getting around this. It has to be lower than 250 kilobytes, or else manager is not going to take it. Now, when we are done, you click on the update and then you save it. So you realize that I have this appearing as my business logo, and we have delete underneath it. The delete gives us the chance to delete it when we realize that probably this is not the business logo that we wanted to upload. You can simply delete it there. Now, the next thing from here, let's go back to the summary tab again. And then now we are ready to activate our various tabs. That is the next exercise after exercise 1.7. I have provided some long notes there, which we can all read at our free time. But the basic thing that this notes there is telling us is that we are going to activate our business tabs in relation to the type of business that we run. A typical example, if you are dealing with a partnership, there's going to be obviously a partnership deal, which means that you're going to have more than one or two people sharing profits and then introducing capital into a business. In such an instance, a capital account tab would need to be activated. If you find yourself in such a situation. Now, in the instance where it's a social club, there might not be any capital element in the picture because it's a group of people who came together to pay money and then have fun together or start a movement together, right? Okay, so all that this particular part of the software is, or the note is saying is that in activating our tabs, we are going to look at the type of business we are dealing with. Some tabs might be useless depending on the type of business that you are going to run. Typical example, a business that doesn't use sales invoice, that doesn't pass sales orders or quotation, doesn't give quotation, wouldn't need a quotation, a sales quotation or a sales order, right? Okay, so to activate the tabs, we come to the customize that we have underneath the settings and then we click on it. From here, you realize that we have the bank accounts. Mark, if you are watching, you'd realize that this has changed from the way it used to be before. Before, everything used to be just straight. Okay, so basically, every business is going to use a bank and cash account. Every business is going to receive cash. Businesses are going to make payment. They're going to have inter-account transfer. What does inter-account transfer do? Now, inter-account transfer is going to give us a chance to move cash from one cash account to another cash account. In accounting, we call that contra entries. So in manager accounting, if you have a contra entry, the inter-account transfer is what you're going to use to record such transaction. So we are going to use it as well. So we click on it to activate that. Bank reconciliation, of course, we have to reconcile what we have recorded on our software with what is happening at the bank itself. So we are going to activate bank statement. Expense claim. Expense claim comes in when an employee, remember, in case an expense on behalf of the business and for which the business would have to pay back, that's when we are going to use expense claims. So with the model that we are going to use for our training, we will not be needing it, and so we will not activate it. We have customers, obviously every business has to sell to someone. Sales quotation, we are going to activate it. I'm going to also activate our sales. We're going to activate our sales invoices because we'll be using them. For my business, for example, I hardly pass sales orders, so I don't have it activated. I don't have it activated in my company's software. Now, credit notes, yes, we are going to use credit notes. Late payment fees. Late payment fees is going to help us calculate fees for those who pay our debt late. That is what late payment fees does. So assuming that I'm giving you a loan of 2,000 cedis, and then after a period of time, the software is supposed to calculate a late payment fees per a certain percentage. This is where I'm going to define that. We are going to come to it because it might be important in one of the companies that we might end up dealing with in the near future, not this particular training, but we will obviously look at it. Billable time. Billable time is basically when someone renders a service to your business and you have to pay the person per the time the person is using for your business, then the billable time comes into place. Then we have billable expenses. When you are incurring other expenses because of that person's existence within that billable time, then you are going to have to activate our billable expenses. Delivery notes, we are going to use it because delivery notes, this is how it's used in manager accounting software. One, it doesn't have an accounting effect. And what happens is that when we make sales, unless our delivery note is passed, it is not going to register on our accounts. Because as much as we might move our transaction or move our stocks to a client, at the end of the day, some of them could end up coming. That is why we will also be passing the credit and debit notes. But the delivery note always attach the company's items that we send to our clients. So we're going to activate that as well. The next thing we're going to activate is our suppliers tab. Of course, we are going to have creditors, people who are going to supply us. We are going to then activate